The Earth is at stake.
There is a troubling indicator about global warming. Preliminary data
reported
shows
as the hottest summer in at least 2,000
First time global warming
years.
has exceeded
The National Oceanic and
1.5 degrees Celsius across an entire year.
The planet that we lived in is suffering because of what we do. Pollutions are everywhere and uncontrollable. We humans have changed and shaped our own home to become what it is right now. The human race, to fulfill their needs, are endless. Meanwhile, their traces create a permanent scar to our planet. Nowadays, nations have united, activists have voiced, and people has gathered to heal our Earth. From a simple behavior, like not polluting your surroundings, to a high-level nation leader conference that make laws to protect our environment. All of these are done because we realize one of our priority right now is to evolve the Earth back to what it was before. Hi, my name is Talent. I'm a cadet from Indonesian Naval Academy, and through this video I want to share my take on how we can be the agents of change, especially from the scope of my profession, and hopefully I can encourage you to do the same or maybe even more in the future. This is how we can evolve for the greener future.
It is clear that the environmental crisis which is confronting the world will profoundly alter the future destiny of our planet. No one amongst us, whatever our status, strength or circumstance, can remain unaffected.
That word that you just hear was said by former Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, during the first United Nations Conference on the Human Environment at Stockholm, Sweden, June 12, 1972. The conference was attended with 1,200 officials, high-level delegates from 113 nations, and marked the beginning of a global awareness in conservation issues worldwide, other living species and our planet, as well as the establishment of the World Environment Day on 5th June and the United Nations Environment Program. Since then, many organizations, either it's the government organization or NGOs, has emerged to launch their program for environment.
Resolution by acclamation. It is so decided.
In Indonesia itself, we're also on the same boat, so we need action to face the problem. As we all know, Indonesia is the biggest archipelago country comprising over 17,000 islands, stretching over 5,000 kilometers from the most eastern part Merauke to the most western part, the island of Benggala, Aceh. And Indonesia is truly unique and magical, because just like one of the Indonesian legendary singer and songwriter Kus Plus said in their song, Kolam Susu. That lyric that you just heard sums that within this magical and unique Indonesian territory, it is full of many biodiversity and natural resources that many civilians rely on it. Therefore, it needs a legislation or law that remembers to be obeyed by all civilians, stakeholders, and the government itself. It is stated in the 1945 Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia, Chapter 14, Article 33, that
the land, the water, and the natural resources within shall be under the power of the state and shall be used to the greatest benefits of the people.
This means that everything that lies on the surface, above the surface, and below the surface of Indonesia's lands and water are protected by the government laws and can be used for the people's welfare. And it looks like everyone really using it to its maximum potential. Millions of acres of paddy are harvested. Tons of palm oil are exported. Minerals are mined and projected to reach a very massive scale. And fishery products in a large volume are exported to more than 20 countries around the globe. All of this shows what our country can do by only using their own natural resources. But not all of this achievement leaves a good trace.
Thousands of firefighters are trying to douse the flames that have pushed
What we have done to fulfill our needs caused a massive disruption and destruction to our homeland. I mean, just look how different our land has become right now. A hill that is used to be a forest now sculpted so human can dig the minerals below it. Once used to be a forest, now tear down so humans can find our needs in the area. A blue estuary now turned into a polluted brown-colored sea. If we still do things like this continuously, there will be nothing left for our future generation, and what they'll see and get later is only the damage that we have done. So, we need to take this seriously, and we need to action. Now, from my perspective as a cadet in the Indonesian Naval Academy, who's majoring in the Naval Defense Management and will be commissioned as an officer in the Indonesian Navy, my goal is not only to learn about defense strategy against my country's enemy, but also how our water territory can keep on maintained and can be used by the people without having any disruption. One of the issues that catches my interest are mangroves. Indonesia is home to more than a quarter of the world's mangroves, an ecosystem that buffers coastal communities against storm surges and sea level rise. Stores 4 times as much carbon per hectare as other tropical forests, and serves as a key habitat for a wealth of marine species. With an estimated of 99,000 kilometers of coastline, the Director General of Land Rehabilitation and Social Forestry of Indonesia reported about 7,758,411 acres of mangroves area are existent. But here's the catch. It was further reported from those mangroves, 30.7% were in good condition, 27.4% moderately destroyed, and 41.9% are heavily destroyed. Which means, if my calculation was right, there are only 2,381,832 acres of mangroves that are usable. It means that not even half of the Indonesian coastlines are planted with mangroves. This is a serious problem. Nowadays, many are trying to solve this problem, starting with providing education and outreach about the importance of mangroves to people, especially to younger generation and students. This action helps to build a good understanding, and hopefully from each of them will arise a feeling of concern about the situation. Next, let's take actions. One of the most successful action that many has taken is by organizing a mangrove planting event. Many has taken this path, and even my institution, the Indonesian Naval Academy, has done it a few weeks ago, before I upload this video. By the end of 2024, our goal is to restore nearly 1.5 million acres of mangrove ecosystem, and personally, I hope that you'll be able to participate in one of these programs nearby. Well, I know not all of you people that watching these videos are willing to join the group activities like that. And if planting mangroves seems like a little bit of a hassle for you, there's actually so many things that you can do to move towards sustainable and greener daily life. Indonesia's President, His Excellency Mr. Joko Widodo, has asserted that Indonesia will reach net zero emission by 2060 or earlier. And to accelerate the implementation, a series of communication outreach were conducted in 12 provinces involving all relevant stakeholders and peoples. But unfortunately, a survey from 2021 asked a random sample of 3,490 Indonesians from 34 provinces if they had ever heard the term climate change. And they found that 88% of their respondents aged 16 to 60 years had heard, but only 44% could define it correctly. This means among Asia and Pacific region, only Laos and Cambodia had lower self-reported rates of knowledge about climate change than Indonesia. This data indicate that the Indonesian people are still hazy about climate change, and educating people about climate change is a huge challenge. Thus, we should involve more people in this conversation. And I would like you to join in this conversation to educate more people. Now, I've gathered some informations, and here are 3 steps that we can take to raise the public's awareness and make climate change an important issue for everyone here in Indonesia. Firstly, we need to understand who's our audience, especially their worldview. A worldview is a person's unique perspective based on their beliefs, values, culture, and experiences. Most of Indonesians hold a conservative worldview. They value preserving institutions associated with greater authority, such as religious and state institutions. And due to this situation, it's crucial to tailor the narrative on climate actions to fit these views. I mean, you can use words like
losing the forest will put Indonesia's sovereignty in jeopardy,
or
preserving the forest is our duty as people of faith,
and then share it to the people nearby. This also applies to our friends at the government and civil society organization to educate them effectively on this issue. Secondly, it is known that
individual actions can pressure decision makers for public causes.
And social media is a great way to do this. Most of you people that are currently watching this video, I know most of you, or maybe even all of you, have social media. I mean, there are 191.4 million active social media users in Indonesia in the late 2022. That's the 3rd most in the Asia-Pacific region, behind only China and India. So you definitely have a social media. Don't lie. This social media, equipped with the correct narratives, can raise public awareness of moving towards greener life. Posting a blog, create a short viral TikTok video, or a 15-minute YouTube video like this one is one of many ways of using social media to spread the words of evolving towards more eco-friendly and more environmental care life. Lastly, just like the Nike always said, It all must start somewhere, right? And there's no better place to start than yourself. Encourage yourself to live a life that is more concerned about the environment around you. You can start by doing simple things like littering in the garbage. Remind your friends and families if they litter elsewhere. Use electricity wisely. Live eco-friendly by reducing the use of single-use items. Or, even better, reuse the single-use items so it can be used again. And there's still many ways that I cannot explain in this video right now. Look, the earth needs us right now. The earth needs their agents of change. So start right now by understanding the issue, then take actions. Remember, no matter how small or simple things that you do, it can make a big impact in the future. I'm Talentino Gody Sawabi, Corporal Cadet from the Indonesian Naval Academy. Together, let's evolve towards a sustainable and greener future, not only for ourselves, but for our future generation. May God will always be with us, whatever actions we take. Thank you.